This is Primetime with Independent Thinker, streaming from the base of 1197. Listen, I must tell you that I still ain't 100% recover. I still just reach in, but I ain't 100% recover. I little under the weather. But I'm here. You know, we're winding down to the end of the year. I will try at least carry you through Thanksgiving. Maybe take a break by the end of November, God willing. And but you know, I'm here and I do my best. I do my best to get as much information out in this so limited short time. And you know what amazed me before I begin the show is that some people can tell me that, and I say that I'm winding down and come to the radio, and these voices, I mean, I was so shocked in the bank yesterday and today and by the gas station was telling me, oh, you can't. How do they know? I mean, I don't know these people. They know me because how they can come and tell me what I say, but they don't. I want to send a shout out to those truck drivers who try to track their heads for Pindas Custom. They don't miss a show. They can tell me everything I say. Listen, it's amazing. It's just that persons, I don't know what they're afraid of, why they don't call in. I don't know anyone. I mean, persons who could tell me what I say, who would ask me things about the show, who know that I said I'm winding down to come up there, and you all don't participate and be a part of the conversation. The FNM is not in power, so no one is going to be victimized. The Free National Movement is not in power, so there'll be no victimization, guaranteed. No victimization. The Free National Movement is not in power. And C. Allen Johnson, you need to give me a call, bro. You need to live up to your commitment, bro. You need to give me a call. C. Allen Johnson, the Freeport, you need to give me a call, sir. Been too long now. You need to give me a call. Give me a call, give Independent Thing a call, bro. I'll begin the show. Our band sponsor tonight, the City of Hope. The City of Hope, that's the former Cancer Society of America. They are my sponsor, leading off the show again tonight. Judy's Bread Shop, the bread from the pond they hand on East Street, on Windsor Park, Windsor Lane, in the area right off the Possible Value. On your right, you will smell the aroma from the fresh baked bread, and you'll see the line at the window, waiting from the bread from the pan to your hand. The Right Fits is a new business on stream that's coming on stream. The Right Fit, the newest clothing store that's gonna hit the block coming 1st of November. Listen, Chiarity, the grand opening. I don't mean lots of new and exciting fits that, listen, you want the perfect fit. The perfect fit. If you want to look your best, listen, the Right Fits will be the location to shop. Next is in the future, it's coming on stream the first week in November based on the ad. They're coming on the first week in November. That's Darling Lane, Wolf Road, Darling Lane. Wolf Road, Darling Lane, you'll see the new two-tone green building, one of the prettiest buildings over the hill. Two-tone green building, top and bottom. They'll be at the bottom, the Right Fit, the new clothing store kit, the newest clothing store kit on the block. I'll give you some more information as time goes on, coming down to the grand opening in November. Winton's Barbershop, listen, you're looking for the perfect cut, you have some event, you know, school is getting ready for exams, so it'll be closing of those who have seminars and Thanksgiving events and stuff. Listen, go and get your perfect cut at Vincent's Barbershop on Hinkley Road on Nassau Street opposite the Magistrate Court. Tell Vincent you heard this out on Primetime with Independent Thinker and ask him for a 10% discount. Rasta Grains and Things on Nassau Street. Listen, eat healthy, you are what you eat. If you eat bad, them old pork and old beef and old pork chop and stuff like that, you continue to eat them kind of food, you will have to visit. And sometime in the near future, you'll have to visit some doctors or some medical or a pharmacy or something. But you use what you eat, so eat some healthy stuff. Go to Rasta Grains and Things, have natural food, vegetarian food. Listen, some salmon, some snapper, those natural drinks that are made from fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, infused, guaranteed. Peanut punch, sorrel, citrus punch, 7-man strength, sea moss. You know, sea moss has some 102 or 108 mineral and vitamins. Listen, go and see Rasta Grains and Things. Tell them you heard this out on Primetime with Independent Thinker, and I guarantee you, you'll be handed a small gift. Global Insurance, that's Tina and crew out Sandy Port. Listen, I want to thank Tina and the girls at Sandy Port Insurance Company on Sandy Port for 2 years, for the last 2 years, consistently placing ads, advertising for them. 601-0006, 601-0006. You want for all insurance needs, you want to reach them on the Standard Board office. That's Global Insurance Team and Crew for all your insurance needs: industrial, residential, commercial, life insurance, health insurance, vehicle insurance, whatever insurance, boat insurance, whatever you need in the insurance industry. Let them have the stress. Let them tell them what you want and let them prepare it for you. Now, in studio tonight, I have Prophet Kean Smith. He was here 2 months ago. We had a good conversation, time ran out on us. But I bring him back because I realized that the ordinary, if you want the police force run right, you speak with and ask some questions to some of the constables on the lower rank, and they could give you some of the greatest ideas and solution to some of the problems that happen in this country. And the same thing with and the ground and over the hill. You want to find out what's happening over the hill, you bring some of the brilliant minds. They're sitting right there just waiting for an opportunity to speak and have their chance to divulge information and solutions and ideas that are not uncovered, because we believe that politicians are the answer to our problem because they have the opportunity and privilege to run the country. But it's not necessarily so, because the process that the majority of them who end up with this power is what caused the whole process become null and void. But I have Prophet Kean Smith and shared with me tonight. We're going to talk about crime, solution, some of the problems and the main people face with this crime, this vexing problem that we are not, history has shown that we are not accustomed to, that is not a usual acceptance in this country, but now becoming a norm because people are just tired and they feel helpless and hopeless that they're unable to do anything about it. And I see, what caused me to grab this topic tonight as a result of, I see in the papers, we have the leader of the opposition, the official opposition, the Honorable Michael C. Pintard. He's stating that he can't. Let me read what he said. I don't want to go off straight. He's saying that the opposition had about complaints about the saying over the death penalty. Couldn't say if his party could replace the Privy Council as the final highest court of appeal. What a waste of, I read on that. What a waste of time. It's a statement in one of the Tribune or the Guardian, one of those tabloids today, where he's stating that he don't know if the country could listen. I don't know who advising you all, man. I mean, you all really think it's a gimmick. You all really got this country as some jokey, what you all got this as a cafe. But I mean, listen, the free Nazi movement just come with power. Crime just didn't start this week. Crime being in this country from records being keeping. It was never at this level. It was never accepted. It was never a norm. But the free Nazi movement just came on the power 3 years ago. And now they are saying they don't think that if they win next election, if they'll be able to do it. Man, listen, we know you only want to remember that. If you only want to do something, you just come with the power. If I was you, I wouldn't even talk. I would bring up new issues that maybe people are unaware. You was one of the cabinet ministers in the last administration. We never heard no statement from you or nothing. And all of a sudden now you want to make statement, but you don't know. You could replace the Privy Council, bro. Take it from me. You don't have to worry about the lawyers you have inside the FNL. Excuse me. You can replace the Privy Council. Now, if you take some time and read history, then you'll understand the process. The Constitution states that the Privy Council is the final court of appeal. The Privy Council is the final court of appeal. It is stated in the Bahamas Constitution. In order to replace the Privy Council, you need some 75% or more percentage and votes to replace the Privy Council by through a referendum. I think the Privy Council is entrenched in the 3/4 majority. If a lawyer is listening and isn't scared to doesn't believe and know that the FNM is not in power, so they wouldn't be victimized, they could call in and either add to what I'm stating or maybe pivot it if I go based on my mind based on I've been in law school in 2021. That's from 23 years ago. And based on my understanding, the Privy Council can be replaced as a result of referendum. The referendum held to the Bahamian people and being the majority voted for, it can be amended. I think it also has to be passed in Parliament based on my memory. Let's go back based on my memory. I mean, maybe a little off in one or two things I say, but I guarantee the majority will be right. Amendments. I think it's entrenched. I think that it's an entrenched and one of those three-quarter majority in order to change. But if you follow history will show that the former Prime Minister Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, when the conversation began on social media in the Bahamas, Bahamians said that they since the Privy Council don't want to support capital punishment, we might as well replace them and join the Caribbean CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice, which we the Bahamian people are paying millions of dollars every year to be a signatory under that court, and we don't use it. We never had one, as far as, I may be wrong, but as far as my mind serves me, we hasn't had one case being adjudicated by the Privy Council, by the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ. And we paying millions of dollars to be a signatory on that particular court. It's the Caribbean Court of Justice, but it's the final court of appeal for majority of the Caribbean countries in the Caribbean. And we paying them millions of dollars and don't use them. Because why? We have leaders, we have past leaders who believe that if the white man sanctions it, it's good. It's done, it can be trusted, and they believe in it, and they trust their judgment. The CCJ is made up of black judges, talented, brilliant, scholars. But we don't use, because the Bahamas don't use them as part of our legal system. We pays, we support it, finance it, and don't use it. Now, we could replace the Privy Council, but the Free National Movement never, ever does do that. I'll give you an example. Those persons who talking about the Privy Council now were there when the former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, brought the judges to Nassau. The lords from the Privy Council, they brought them in from London, and they heard cases here in the Bahamas, in the Court of Appeal building. So, never mind the noise of the market, they're just trying to make people believe and confuse some people that they are aware and prepared to entertain changes about Privy Council. But tonight we want to talk about some of the solutions that can be brought against the crime problem in this country, and my suggestions and my guest suggestions, ideas and solutions. Robert Kane Smith, good evening.
Yes, good night.
Welcome back to Primetime and Independent Thinker. I started the show by stating I'm under the weather, still under the weather. Trying my best because I missed 2 shows about 2 weeks ago. I tried to keep up until I get back 100%. So you guys said, bear with me. Right. Now, the question is put to you, what is your view on capital punishment and corporal and capital punishment today? What is your personal view and what you see corporal and capital punishment is today in this country?
I mean, me personally, I always want to promote life over everything, what I mean? And it depends on certain heinous crimes, because, say when it comes to, just say, me personally, I almost just look at rape worse than certain other crimes, it depends, because if you're defending your life, if someone trying to kill you, right, but then you end up killing them, right? Nah, they'll put you in jail for murder, right?
No. If someone trying to kill you,
right,
and you had to kill them through defending yourself,
right,
it's called self-defense.
But would you still
get charged? No, you would get charged.
Prison time?
Huh?
You said when serve prison time or nothing like that?
You might serve prison time if
Right.
until you maybe have sufficient proof or evidence to show that you were self-defense.
Right.
But self-defense is a 100% defense.
Alright.
Right, self-defense.
Alright.
Yeah.
But certain heinous crimes, like say if it like to say something like to say if someone really outrageous, like to say a young guy might have do something with some young kids and really murder what's not. Now I ain't saying alright you can say forgiveness, bro. Certain honestly certain people could get takeout like to say if you want to say promote hanging for certain things. But me personally, right, I feel as though like we just focusing on punishments over solutions. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you could create a model for some of these people too. Because say some of these guys who may be gang leaders right now, what's not, right? And they may be in jail, you might say, okay, hang him. Sometimes some of these guys almost like how you see them moving right now and for wishing for death, sometimes you might even create a model, you know what I mean? So I feel as though we could focus more on solutions than the punishment, you know? So as far as capital punishment, honestly, I ain't too hard to say you have to hang people and what's not, but I mean we have to figure something out. But I honestly ain't too hard for it. You see what I'm saying?
So you don't support corporal punishment is where
Right.
majority 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time, corporal punishment is where a man rape a child,
Okay, alright. Sorry.
where a man rape a lady,
Right.
where a man rape little boys.
Right.
That's when corporal punishment is used, when they use the cat nine tail.
Okay, yeah.
And they give you maybe 3 or 2 or 3 whipping you going in prison, the service sentence, when you're coming out.
Yeah.
So you can remember what you're going up there for.
Okay, yeah.
So corporal punishment is more a punishment where you don't get killed,
Okay.
you don't die,
Alright.
but you feel and you get some marks, some scars.
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah,
keep
man,
you remember.
yeah,
That's
but I
capital
understand it.
corporal
Okay,
punishment.
Okay.
Capital punishment is when you kill someone,
Right.
right? You take a life and you didn't have the authority to,
Okay.
as a result of self-defense or some other mitigating factors that allow you
Okay.
that privilege to carry an act that you can't be punished for.
Yeah, I can't entail. I could agree with that now. Like,
Can't
yeah,
identity,
man,
that's
yeah,
corporal
man,
punishment.
yeah, put something on them if it really that you know.
No, see, I mean, corporal punishment was one of the punishment that slaves had to get.
Okay.
Right, that was a common practice in it at the time.
Right.
But because people believe they're so sophisticated and educated at this kind of time, they believe that's barbaric. They call that barbaric, beating the person with a cat. But when you rape a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
when you rape a 10-year-old, when you rape a little boy, when you cut him up and put him in a suitcase, when you cut him up and put him in a drum, right? When you take advantage of persons who are sick, these are the children who are born of deficiencies, and you take advantage of them. Corporal punishment was one of the punishment that when you going in, once you convicted, you get something. And when you're coming out, you get something to carry when you're going.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And capital punishment for these persons who just feel like they can just pass and shoot up the place, they don't care who that get killed. They ride around with a gun and just shoot these guys when they holding their baby in their hand. They don't care. That's what capital punishment is designed for. Now, I keep on for years. I've been on radio now going on 14 years. I keep on offering a very simple model with this capital punishment, right? If politicians feel and they hard of hearts that all of a sudden because they are educated, they are being given opportunity to be cabinet ministers. All of a sudden they don't understand what they confused, they don't want capital punishment no more. They change their view and they don't believe in the Bible, they don't believe in what is written. So they, all of a sudden, can't get labeled. Right? So crime being from them. Right? And punishment was offered then. Right? In different ways. But what I'm saying is all of a sudden politicians today, they believe they're so smart and they're sophisticated, they believe in human rights commission, they believe in these human rights bodies because they want to be acquainted with them. They want to seem to be associated with persons who wield power around poor countries. Right? All of a sudden, capital punishment is a dirty word. Right? Capital punishment was accepted. Capital punishment was accepted. Because the behavior of killing people wasn't expected. Right? So it was, it's a norm. Now, plenty politicians in our assembly, the Bahamian people, that's why I tell you things have changed next year.
Right.
And I go get on the road, and I will continuously expose the mindset of the Bahamian people about capital punishment, in this country. You got to do it. You got to go to the people to get them to say it. The people see them answering the question and saying it.
Right.
And then they will start to understand that this is about their personal feelings, their personal acquaintances, the persons who they go to school in England with, and who join these human rights commission and stuff. That's who's stopping these people, you know. Because listen, if you felt sorry for the victims, if you have a heart for the victims, right? Persons who getting killed in this country, you wouldn't allow your personal feelings, your personal affiliation, your personal agendas interfere with the norm. What's in this country and accept it. If you don't hold a referendum in this country, asking the Bahamian people to vote on capital and corporal punishment, you'll be shocked. The amount of people who will support that. Some of them, their own family killing, they don't care. They'll vote yes because it's a norm behavior, it's an instinct that comes with your conscience. Right? It's out of hand. And I'm saying to you that if these politicians believe they're so smart and they're so tricky, they want to bring you a bill where man could go in women's sports and participate, right? And man could go bathe in a woman's bathroom, right? And woman could be get the gender change or get this to me. But they ain't gonna bring you a referendum asking you, do you support corporal punishment when a man rape a little child, rape a little boy, rape a woman, that he'll get this castrated, he'll get a cat nine tail, this and that, right? You sure he ain't gonna rape nobody no more if he get castrated? He will never rape again.
Serious thing.
He will never rape again. I might tell you that. When you kill someone, a person who's killed because they convicted and killed will never kill again. That's a guarantee. How can a dead man kill? You got the people who are on bail right now for murders, have to do 5 and 6 murders and they're on bail. How? If they now get bail and they change was tried, they get convicted for the first murder, 5 other people have been living. That makes sense?
Serious thing, yeah.
You understand? But see, they don't want to look in that direction because they want to be seen with these international persons that they carry out an accepted level of belief. Because these persons who hold power and influence in different countries, they want to be up there with them. And that's why, because, listen, Caribbean countries in the Caribbean carry out that penalty. We carried out that penalty before. The former Great Lakes Lyndon Oscar Pillen carried out that penalty. The former Prime Minister Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingham, who's living today, carried out that penalty. Right? You listen. The last person who was killed, I think, was Thomas Reckley. I'm not sure. The last person who was killed. But who's pull it up? The last person who was killed. I know at a time in this country, you couldn't even get bail for murder. Bail for murder, you maybe heard about one of the persons who get bail for murder, and now it's now accepted. The person used as precedents to give bail.
January 2000.
What his name was?
David Mitchell.
David Mitchell was the last one. Thomas Reckley was the second last, I think. David Mitchell was the last person, and I think the former Prime Minister, I think that's in 2000, 2000, the last person who was hanged for murder was David Mitchell. I think he had killed 2 German couple or something, or killed a German couple in Abaco or something like that, to that effect. But capital punishment was accepted. All of a sudden, the former Prime Minister appears that he get cold-feeted. And he hasn't ordered no killing set. Because he ran the country from 2000, the last hang was in 2000. He ran the country for another 2 years, 2000, 2002. Then he came back and ran the country again in 2007 to 2012. New England was from 2000 to 2002. None was from 2007 to 2012. Right? He got cold-feeted. It appears that somebody had influenced him or some group had influenced him, right? But at the time that he was carrying out capital punishment, the murder was never, ever, you add up all the murders, from 1992 to 2000, I don't think you will get the amount of murders, and the whole 10 years, you wouldn't get the amount of murders that he get from 2007 to 2012. You couldn't get that amount of murders, and the whole, I tell you.
But you see how we was
10 years.
talking last time, like you say, sometimes be certain hidden agendas, like when I tell you, like, most of these criminal lawyers, right, it'll be different things. Like, once they keep this crime running, they keep this country like this, it's easy to control the people, it's easy to keep them in poverty. You know what I mean? That's how they keep the dollars in their pocket, that's how they keeping the people distracted. All these things is just be little mind games they be playing on the people, you know what I mean?
And listen to me, you are so right. Let me tell you why, and some facts that you're right. Because if you go back, a lawyer, he has died now. He had represented some guys who had did armed robbery. And the court ordered him to get back the money. They won the case.
Right.
And he was taking too long to get the money out of the office or something.
Right.
When the court give him back the money, they break open the office to get the money out of the office.
Wow.
He become a victim of crime from the same person he was representing.
Seriously.
I just tell you, see, listen to me. And they are aware, right, that if you ain't wicked and you charge for murder, how would you find $20,000? How would you find $20,000 to pay for the lawyer to represent you, to get a reasonable, acceptable lawyer who will give you a partial or a good representation? You need money.
Yeah.
Right, so how the lawyer expect you to get it?
Yeah.
The government ain't gonna grant you $25,000 for a talented lawyer to represent you so you can win.
Really?
So, and you ain't working.
No.
You don't have a job, you don't have a business.
Right. Yeah.
Right? You ain't come from a fluent family.
Yeah.
So the cycle continue.
No, man.
So what the system need to do, and we have one, I believe, one of the greatest opportunities for the Chief Justice in this country, right? To make great inroads and change some things in this country. The Chief Justice in this country is Ian Winder. He's a brilliant being. He's a brilliant human. I think if we can get a chance to fix this crime problem, we got to do it with this in this term or in this term.
Right.
We got to do it. We got to make some inroads. We have to,
Right.
because he's knowledgeable. He's knowledgeable and he's capable in making some things change. And it appears that plenty of the persons who in the system is part of the problem. In my humble opinion, they are part of the problem. Why the judicial system, it appears that it's failing.
Right.
It appears that it's not being used properly. It's not being, people don't fear the system no more. One time ago, persons used to fear going to court.
Yeah.
There's a fear going to jail. There's a fear going before the judge.
Right.
There's a fear of the system.
Yeah.
But it's no fear. Fellas feel like they can lay down doing a year and a half.
Right.
They can lay down doing a year and a half in jail,
Right.
waiting for their trial. Because they believe they get bail and they'll be able to wreak havoc.
Right.
I mean, sometimes you must sit back and ask, is the system working?
And some of the conditions they living like that at home. You see what I'm saying? So that's
So,
why these man are
it's normal to them.
like that. You see they
You-
saying?
and you're so right.
They then living over there with the bucket right there.
Right,
you see
right
they
there.
saying with 4 of them, 5 of them sleeping in one room and things. So it's like nothing of them to do prison. You see they saying home ain't much different.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's why it's be easy for them to do jail. You see?
They don't have to adjust as much.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have to adjust as much. They just walk out when they want to go smoke dope when they're ready.
Right.
I mean, they're not getting hurt and fell phone in jail.
Yeah, they go.
So they're still communicating and smoking.
Right.
Not as much as they want to.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I believe they're doing their best, the system doing their best to prevent it. But if they live in them conditions home, they don't have to do much adjustment to live in Foxhill. So some things that happen in this country that the Bahamian people have to be a part of the change. They have to drive the change. The politicians, them, I mean, when you hear, if I call all the names tonight of persons who has spoken in defense of certain issues when it comes to capital punishment, or spoken in a manner where they support the human rights groups, the European groups, commission groups and stuff around Europe, when we know that the Europeans don't want hanging, they call that barbaric. They don't want capital punishment. They call that barbaric. They don't support it. They have now weeded out of their legal system, right? And we must accept that we have to be a part of the change. The politicians, they trying to stay on the side of the prestige.
Yeah.
They understand? Listen, if you go back to the statement that the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Minutes, had made. If you go back to the statement that the former Member of Parliament from Tall Pines, Leslie Osborne Millers, made, you would say, how is this that hanging isn't happening?
Seriously.
The former Member of Parliament once stated that if you don't support capital punishment, you don't support hanging murderers, as a Member of Parliament, you should leave Parliament. They talking strong. Yeah. The former Prime Minister, my mind served me correctly, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Minutes, he said that it's on the book. Right. Hanging's on the book. Right. So it should be carried out. But he was in opposition at the time. Right. Not one person was hanged when he was leader of the country. Right. When the Free National Movement invited the Privy Council to come here and hold their hearing in the Bahamas. For the first time in history, the Privy Council ever been the judges, the lords from Privy Council. And I must state, that many people who are listening to me, the judges that sits in the Privy Council are the same judges, or lords, we call them, that sits in the House of Commons, not House of Commons. What's the court for the England? England. What do you call it?
Court of Appeal?
No, not Court of Appeal. The highest, the House,
House of Lords.
The House of Lords, yeah. The same judges that sits in the House of Lords, the highest court for England, is the same judges that sit in the Privy Council. They're the same judges, right? England is the motherland for all the colonies. They don't support capital punishment. They don't support capital punishment. So you expect them to adjust and change when they sit down to another court that has them as their final court of appeal, as they are the judges for the final court of appeal, and they must change their belief, their mindset, their practice when they come to make decisions over black people. That'll never happen. It ain't gonna happen. That'll never happen.
Same people who are us in slavery.
Right. They must change and adjust and give it the benefit of the doubt. Listen, we can have the Privy Council. See, we can have the Privy Council remove as our final court of appeal. We can have a Supreme Court. We can have a appeal court, and we can have a High Court.
Right.
We can use the CC, Caribbean Court of Justice, as our final court, as High Court. Right? But they don't want that. No. We're funding the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice, and we don't use them. Yeah. We spend millions of dollars every year sending them to keep the court funding and operating, and we don't even use them. Why? Because we believe the white man. We believe the white man is the best man you could trust with a decision, or a black man. Tell them to deny what I say. Tell them to deny what I say. Well, how is it that every time the conversation come up and come up about us abolishing the Privy Council, they come with all kind of little clever ways, listen. Listen. Bring it into the baby bill. Enshrine it in the Constitution. See, a referendum could put. We had to amend the Constitution as action. For me, accept this document and become our final, our supreme laws, right, that governs us with all the rights and liberties. We hasn't amended this as yet from 1973. Serious. Right? Never mind that how time has changed and amendments are needed. Things that need to be changed as time changed. We hasn't amended this yet. We can amend it. You could hold a referendum. The Bahamian people, but see, they went to that.
So you know what happened to Mr. Johnson, like I was even talking last time, but it ain't really about putting no blame on nothing but the psychological effect. Like I was saying years ago, you gotta remember over the many years. You see, I think they say Haiti got about 12 million people, right? Right, remember that time when there was one bad guy from Freeport, he killed like 5 little boys or what's not, right?
He's still in jail.
I watched this. I was working on a construction site. Now that's one of my brethren who really from Haiti. You know what I mean? He's like, man, Rasti say, man, you all so soft over here. He say, you know what we to do with him in Haiti? That's what he say. He said we to chop him up and he trust with a berry, a piece of him, and different in our yard, right? So what happening too over like when you talking about like all these guys just cutting and chopping people down, you saying like, man, we wasn't having all this crime. I'm not putting it on a particular just to say them, you know. But you gotta remember, you got a bunch of illegals coming over here. You already know the acts of what's going on, and that's why it's so different now, like with the crime. That's why you don't know people who coming from certain mentality and certain culture. How much videos you seeing when you ever see a Bahamian sit over someone and just take one hammer and just bashing them in the head for whatever, they teeth something or what's not. So you gotta remember it's a psychological change that then happen over the many years over here. Man, this ain't really Bahamas no more, you know. You know what I mean? Like this ain't really Bahamians no more, you know. You see, like saying there's so much different mixed cultures, and then you get the China man over here praying, you get the Indian, you get Philip, you get all kind of humans over here right now, you know. So they're saying like how we saying, even though I ain't saying I about our religion, but they're saying really to say like the Christian nation thing no more. You got a bunch of different cultures and thinking over here right now, and that's what's really going on in this country. That's why it's so easy for these people them just to move a certain way, cut certain acts, and then you got to remember with social media, like back in the day when we was little children, we ain't had access to see all this foolishness on TV. We could just swipe and see one guy cut one act and be like him in America and do all these different things. Now these little boys, they watching all these little things, all kind of, you can see all these little murders, all these little things. They even mimic this the other day. See my nephew, he get on black fingernail polish, right? So I said, but I don't want to do something. Now watch this. So my uncle showed me, say, but I ain't a womanish thing, you know. He said, what happening is one rapper. He said that's like a thing where they're saying like, bro, like give up your soul, you ready to cut any act. Like you understand what they saying? So we mimicking, you gotta remember things then change, you know. So that's another thing. So much structural change, so much things then change over the last 20-something years in this little country right now, and that's what's really going on. You can see just like simple things like how the standard of living. So right now, crime and poverty go together. So if we want to really deal with this thing, first we gotta tackle this poverty, we gotta deal with these people them from the grassroots right now. Sharing you.
I tell you that tonight, before we leave at 9 o'clock, I want to give some of the names of some of the members of parliament who are still in our assembly, who support the Human Rights Commission, who support the European mindset, who support the notion that capital punishment is barbaric. So help with the victims and your family who are crying and grieving over the loss of your loved ones. Because the politicians, I will give you some of the names, there are 40 now, somebody I'll give you half, I'll give you 20, I'll give you more now, I'll give you 21. I'll give you 21 of the names before we leave tonight, 9 o'clock. Before we leave, 21 of the names of the persons of them, now ain't gonna be all now, that will not be all, who support the continuation of this notion that capital punishment when you put the cap nine tail on these lousy men who go with these little boys and raping these little boys and killing them, raping the 5-year-old, 83-year-old, and listen, I will call the name 21 of them before we leave the show tonight. I got 40, I got 37 or 40. I called 21 or 37. Because they believe that it's barbaric and it's wrong for a grown man who raped a little boy, 5-year-old, with the Archer little boy name? Marco Archer. Marco Archer. You had a little girl who walked on a car, 5 years old on Blue Road, died by SC by Ferguson. The guy thought she was dead. She come with a car all bloody up. On a 5-year-old. And I think he must see 7 years or 2 years, 5 years or something in jail. I talking about, and these are the people who, and you're going to the poll and vote for these same people who ain't feel for the little girl, you know. Yeah. Who ain't feel for the 83-year-old. Don't mind them in the newspaper talking nonsense in there for them. They was government. They was government over and repeatedly. They did nothing. They did nothing. Tell them prove me wrong. Tell them prove me wrong. They can't prove me wrong. They cannot. They ain't did nothing. They did not amend the Children and Young Persons Act. They hasn't amend the rape and burglary act. They hasn't amended none. I think our first commercial break. Producer, let's take you got a call on the line? No? Take our first commercial break. Let's take our first commercial break. Let me come back. Right? Because the old saying say, evil prevail when good men stand by idly, and that's nothing. Go to first commercial break.
Cancer. It's a word no one wants to hear. but at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, we hear it every day. It's a word we've dedicated our lives to overcoming by changing the way patients are treated. And now we're part of City of Hope, which is one of the nation's top 10 cancer hospitals. Together, we'll combine leading-edge clinical research with precision cancer treatment, so we can be there when you need us most. So when you hear the word cancer, there's another word that should come to mind. Hope. Call now.
You've dreamt it. You've worked hard for it. And now you've got it. You deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor and know that you're covered in case of a disaster, like an unexpected fire or a vehicular collision. At Magic Insurances, we focus on settling your claims quickly and fairly so you can get back to enjoying your life. Magic Insurances. Fast, fair, and always there.
It's Primetime with Independent. My name is Marlon Owen Johnson, aka Independent Dingle. Listen, I must ask the question: is it because politicians and their family, their concubines, their sweethearts are being killed, why they refuse to stand up and speak up and bring up a private member bill in our assembly against these lousy, worthless criminals who refuse to work, who just want to just prey on people, kill people, commit murder, rape little children? And is it because their children ain't being raped? Is it because politicians are being protected with police protection, armed guards, live out west, live out east, live behind big walls, gated communities, house securities all night when they're sleeping? Is it, why, how is it that the victim protection program is a big joke? How is it? It's a big joke. How much victims are being killed who were witnesses to murders in this country? How much victims? I remember a lady, she was, I think her daughter was paralyzed on a jeepney or something. She was shot. And then the mom was killed. And it's like, and these women politicians now, and see, and I don't let them against women, Right. And I say this: woman is the greatest creation that God has ever created. Woman is the greatest creation that God has ever created. Right? But at least they should have the holler. They should be in our assembly crying and complaining and yelling and trying to get some satisfaction be brought for these little children getting raped, these little children getting their parents killing their friends. These politicians, they so focused on trying to get what they deserve and what their ability can't allow them to get. Tell them they ain't worried about what happened out there. They don't even worry about you went time of election. They come to you, knock on your door, and they're so heartless. Yeah. All you been going through for 5 years, right? They come to you. They come to you and begging you to vote for them. When you suffer for 5 years, and they knock on the desk and out somebody bomb on the desk and cackle and giggle and crack joke with one another, stop them from talking, and none of them bring a private member bill to try to bring some satisfaction, some civility to what's happening to the people over the hill. But maybe people need to wake up. Next year they can wake up.
They feel like
people gotta wake up against these clowns.
Yeah, man. They feel like the people like bad treatment because honestly what happening.
Keep voting for them.
You see they saying right, if you keep on voting, you keep on doing it, they can keep on mistreating you regardless of what you're doing, and then they able to run off with the bike like that because see if they ain't keeping you informed, they ain't keeping you educated and what's not, they able to take the money, they could, because when this happening then when you hear this money getting stolen, so that's why they don't have this problem, this crime getting going on. Like yeah, let them kill up each other over the hill while we run off with the bike. We could ride in our fancy cars, we could move, we could travel away. We ain't watching none of these things, we can just throw them a little piece of crumbs now and then, they may give them a little contract to cut my grass on the side of the road, but we ain't gonna make them business owners, and that's what it is. So they just be able to run off with the bike while these things just happening, like you say, they ain't affecting them, you know what I mean?
You see the behaving people that's being, it gotta be a Jezebel spirit, like Dr. P always say. Gotta be a Jezebel spirit that owns this nation. We could be such a prosperous country, we could be such a envy of the world like Singapore, right? But it gotta be a wicked spell over us. Because how Bahamians will allow the same politicians, to come to their house, knock on their door, allow them inside, entertain them, And these are the same people who sit in the House Assembly, what could change the rules, the laws, the policies, that could bring a referendum for the people to vote against the carnage that's happening with all the people being killed. And none of them opening their mouth. Their mouth so full, opposition and government side, and they enjoying the ride and their benefits, and they're so cold-hearted, they come back to you with no tear in their eye, and they'll ask you over them again. I call this. Heartless.
See, that's why they're doing the single parent homes. Like, see, the thing is, right, they use the church to control the mother, they use the prison to control the father, and they use the school to control the children. You see what I'm saying? So, like I say, the women, them, you know, yes, there are beautiful women, so watch this. You see how they say women is fall for what they hear, right? So that's why we need to stop always worrying about how good a politician speak. See, like, you'll see someone on TV, right, they'll be talking, and what the first thing you'll say? He ain't changed nothing, but boy, he spoke well. So that's why they can manipulate the women them and thing and sit down and be like, okay, don't worry, we can change whatever and thing like that and what's not. And so that's what is be happening, because here it is now. Us Bahamians, we need to start choosing truth over tradition and reality over religion. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's happening right now. We so caught up with this church thing. Like, I used to tell my Grammy them and my mommy before this, you know, I say, you're all so busy with faith. Oh, the Lord can help this, the Lord. Because that's what happened.
The Lord has helped. I ain't like that. The Lord has helped.
No, what was how they saying? But faith without works dead. See, they just sitting down. Right, that's what I'm trying to show you. They just sitting down saying, the Lord can help. And they sitting down and see, because plenty.
They ain't doing that.
It's just dominated by women, you know. You got to realize, like, all the strong men, they only sitting around by the bars.
Yeah, but they're only sitting around by the bars.
You see what they saying?
The woman them are taking over because the man them leave the gap. There are plenty space and opportunities for them to take over.
Yeah.
Men are not being men.
No,
they're just being donors. They believe that they should just have sex with a woman. She get pregnant, then she on her own, and she don't want sex with them no more. You know, she on her own. She have to take care of the child. She have to struggle and go to the next man, help her take care of the next man, baby. And you listen to me. Listen to me. The system is continuously deteriorating. The cycle is continuously going around. The cycle is ain't stopping because we have to find the gumption. We have to find the kahunas. We have to find the wherewithal to say enough is enough. We're gonna stand. We gotta stand for something. We're gonna build this country by creating a plan. We don't have a national plan in this country. We don't have a national plan. I don't know F&M plan or PLP plan when they sit behind their building and their not consultancy office and their headquarters, and they come up with nice ways that people will be comfortable to accept. No, I don't, but a plan where majority of the people, everybody agree on everything, but majority of the people will accept and respect. You understand? And obey and try to, majority. Everybody can follow it, but the majority of people will accept a way forward until we find the gumption, the goal, the wherewithal, the pivot to start. We'll continuously deteriorate as a country, as the Bahamas. I guarantee you that. You understand? The education system falling. It's deteriorating. You know why? We continuously on the same, but we see the awaken. But we refuse because the persons who control these ministries, they fear change themselves. So they ain't changing them. Because changes bring hard work. Changes bring failure. They don't want failure. They don't want to know that they tried something that didn't work. They don't want to change them because it take energy, time, hard work, thinking to make it work. To avoid failure. You understand? So they'll do all 5 years educational system still a failure. And they'll come and tell you, I remember one time, and I never forget this, the Free National Movement was in power. And the Minister of Education said that they're going to institute more grades to the ABCDE. They carry the grade level marking to G, or F, I think, G, H, or something. I mean, and we sit by, and we did nothing. We as a people, we did nothing, and just chase them all the time. We start to run them. Because what they do, in order to prop up an acceptable level, if you carry it down low, then the bar low for you to reach. Instead you jumping to reach the rim, bring the rim down to you. You get jump? So that's why they did that. And we didn't do nothing until you as a citizen of this country, we sit by and we did nothing. I had a former Minister of Education from the Free National Movement on my show. And I asked him, I said, I say, on the opening, he said that the education system is improving, blah, 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 and things are looking good, and it's promising, and this and that. I said, do your children go to government school? He said, no. I said, how is it that you're the minister of education, and your kids don't go to government school, and you're in charge, use the where the buck stop, and your children don't go to government school? He said, well, it's the decision of his wife. I said, the decision of your wife?
Right.
I said, you know how dangerous that is, what you say? He said, what? He said, if you want to sleep, you have a call at night. If you want to sleep, if you want, that's what he said. His excuse was, if you want to sleep at nighttime, you later me, the wife how about me?
Wow.
I said, no, your wife don't have no confidence in you. Prime time in the bedroom.
Good night. What are you doing, brother?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me ask you and you guess a question. What is the worst thing can happen to a human being?
The worst thing that happen, you're asking me, I can answer this first before I let him answer. The worst thing I believe can happen to a human being is when he get killed.
Yes. What's up? Guess, what do you think?
I hear you.
I'm asking you guess.
Yeah, he said, what's the worst thing that happen to a human being?
The worst thing that happened to a human being for me personally is to say really, I mean, we can all transition off to really lose your soul. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, you can
lose your soul.
That's what me. That's how I look at life. You know what I mean?
But I'm speaking in terms of, you know, what we're dealing with here.
Right.
Now, let me just put it in my mind. I think the worst thing that happen to human beings is cold-blooded murder.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, somebody just pulls up in a car, takes out a machine gun, and just blasts somebody off the way. I think that's cold-blooded murder. Now, with that being the case, you convict somebody that what else the Privy Council wants? What else they need to know?
What else the Privy Council what?
Isn't that the Privy Council wants the worst of the worst?
No, the Privy Council did that because they realized that the Bahamas have stupid humans running it. That's why Privy Council. Listen to me, caller. Let's just hold on for me. Let me just say, you bring it up, I can say something. The Privy Council realized that the statements that was made to justify them continuously being the last and final court of appeal, they realized that the persons that the baby people are picking the dumbest set of people to run the country. And I might tell you that. Listen to me, when they asked that the voice of the voice, that was the case involving the Maxio Tio case, where they run the truck over the young girl. She was 16 or 17 or something like that. They run the truck over her. They push stick up and up. They burn her. They gang rape her. They stab her. Right? And they said, I ain't the voice of the voice. How worse could a person die when you're done dead? You can't get a voice in death.
Well, that's my question. I mean, what else do you want? I mean, what else? Why isn't our lawmakers arguing that same argument that you?
You know why? Because we have mindsets. And listen to me good. I can say this very slow. We have the mindset of person who are still in House Assembly. The mindset are still there. When the Privy Council made that ruling, you know what they said, the voice of the voice? They came to the Bahamas government. And the Bahamas government at the time was the Free National Movement. You know the Free National Movement and its cabinet ministers, led by the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram said, you know they said the voice of the voice? When you get a politician, it's the voice of the voice. Man, now in life, that's supposed to be the voice of the voice. Go ahead, call it your lie.
But politicians were killed.
Huh?
Politicians were killed in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I never said they were never killed. I said they claim that that's the voice of the voice.
I understand it, but it seems like there is no effort to explain to the Bahamian people what that is, because no matter what happens in this country, it ain't bad enough. You know, it just ain't bad.
See what the Privy Council do. Listen, the Privy Council, listen. Listen to me, go along. The Privy Council did that. They say that on your statute laws in section, I think it's 201 or 190. I think manslaughter is 190 and murder is 201 or 210 or something like that, 209 or something. Anyhow, in chapter 77. Listen to me. The Privy Council intentionally, deliberately did that. They did their research and it was advised by maybe some very talented, brilliant lawyers, white lawyers here. And they said, man, listen, whatever you give them that come from a white man, that will be, you listen to the defense. They say, listen, you believe you're joking? Listen to the defense they give. Listen what they can say, what's the voice of the voice. They never say. They wouldn't come to you and say that any debt that is committed unlawfully is the voice of the voice. When a human life is taken, it is the voice of the voice. You know, they come and say, when you kill a politician, when you kill a member of parliament, it's considered the voice of the voice. So you're supposed to get hanged for that. So that means you voting for them. Your life ain't worth nothing to compare to them.
Yeah, that's a bunch of crap.
No, that's a bunch of crap. That's reality. That's a facts, bro.
I mean, it was fact, but that's a bunch of crap, right?
All right then.
You know,
Their life, what they're proving to you, what they are proving to you, Bahamian citizens in this country, what they call, hold on for me 1 minute. What they're proving to the Bahamian people, that you only get enough to vote for them, but your life ain't value like they want. Because if it's considered a voice of the voice when you kill them, but when you get killed, you know voice of the voice, and you will go to the poll and vote for them, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, call it your life, man.
Let me say this one, because I can close and I can let you have the show, because I enjoy the show. This is, you know me, and I say this, and I say this to you, yes, anybody, wherever. There will never be peaceful change in this country. Bahamians just ain't there. We cannot have change peacefully. It ain't coming peacefully. When the Linden Show, the Mace, or wherever out the window, that was not a peaceful move, but it got some things done. But long gone are those methods of trying to get attention. For us to get attention now, it's going to be way bigger than throwing a mace out of the window. Have a good night, my brother.
Thank you, caller. I really appreciate your contribution. And I'm glad you called early so I can give you the full opportunity to talk and tell you we see your close. But I must put to my yes. Listen, you hear what he said?
Right.
The decision has been made by the Privy Council to put the onus. That was the perfect time for the Bahamian people, and the politicians in the House Assembly at that time. The freelancer moves in power. And if they was brilliant enough to just come together and vote on one line.
Right.
You know what the one line was say? Any life that is taken unlawfully and as a result in debt it should be considered a waste of waste.
Yeah.
But the value of life, no life value more than the next.
Right.
That was their perfect time to say that.
Right.
But long way they ain't went with you. You ain't important to them.
Right.
They just make decision for you. So that means I bet in you. Because the rules and laws that I ain't passed, you ain't live by.
Yeah.
The rules right now, let me tell you an example where they proving what I said, to prove what I said. Right? Right now, you have members of parliament right now, and maybe cabinet ministers right now, who ain't disclosed for March 31st. For March 31st, when the law said you ain't disclosed by March 31st, you should be arrested.
Right.
And no one is arrested.
Yeah.
And they ain't care because they ain't get arrested.
Serious thing.
Right. And then they want you to obey the rules and the laws and the penal code, chapter 77 or chapter 84, or the Privy Council, or not Privy Council, the Constitution. You must follow them.
Right.
But they ain't the rules ain't for them.
Yeah.
Because they can break the law, but you must stop at every light.
Serious
Right?
thing.
You must wear a helmet.
Right.
You must stop at every light. You must pay your real property tax.
Yeah.
You must pay your water bill, pay your light bill.
Yeah.
Just live, pay tax.
Right.
They live good, and you die.
Yeah. So you say that right? I used to tell my grandma, I'm like, oh, you see when they saying with lose your soul, right? They say, grandma, they say, watch this, you're gonna transition off anyhow, right? I say, like, for me personally, right, I ain't saying like, oh, I wish for someone to take me out, but I ain't afraid to stand up in front of these people. If you all want to take out, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you only get one heart, you only get one life, right? Fight for something, because you can pass away anyhow. All right, so I give them this example. My son born in 2001. My great-grandmother, who I know, she died in 2000, right? So now what she did, whatever, help affect his life, right? So here it is, my Bahamian people. You gotta make some moves. There be some great-grandchildren who you don't gonna never meet right now. And the moves you make right now could help them now for the next 50 years to come on different things like that. You see what they saying? Because for me, it's simple infrastructural changes we could make. Like I was talking about the educational system, right? Like, okay, when it comes to crime, poverty, we could turn all these primary schools into mini BTVIs. So from primary school, so we can start changing these from these children right now. They don't have to be in the streets like these boys. I'm just sitting there playing dominoes all day through the corner, just hanging out what's not. From primary school, you could then have a trade. So by the time grade 7, grade 8, you could have more boys who are willing to work different things. Even these ghettos, we don't have to have no pumping water, no outside toilets. I can't see. You know, it's so amazing. I ain't against jumping is our culture. I love it, you know. But when you see one drum, 2 cowbell shake, 10,000 people and by Bay Street, you know. But 10,000 people wouldn't go by Bay Street and stand up for their rights. And right after John Canoe finished, they walk right back over the hill to them outside toilet and pumping water drip.
Listen to me.
You see what they say?
Listen, you're so right, man. And you breaking it down so literal that people, they got to understand.
Yeah, man.
Let me tell you something. They had a joke in the assembly where they say, oh, you ain't spend your money. And other one say, you ain't spend your money. So $125,000 that members of parliament get every year. People need to know this. They just get $125,000 go to their account.
Wow.
Every year for your constituency.
Yeah.
For their constituency. How much of them taking the $125,000, not $124,000?
Yeah.
How much of them taking $125,000 off their account
Yeah.
and putting it on the account for the people in the constituency to use?
Oh, sorry.
They don't live in your constituency.
Yeah,
We have a system where the politicians can live in Liberty and run for Anglican, right? Run for Anglican while she living in Anglican, when she live in Hannah Road or live in Liberty or live in Old West, right? But they don't force her to run where she live. You got, in order for you to vote in Anglican, you got to be living there for 6 months. But you could be a member of parliament for Anglican and don't live there. I mean, they gotta have us as the biggest. I see why they treating us like this.
Yeah, no real talk.
That's why they have to treat us like this.
Yeah.
And the people, they read us right.
Yeah.
They read the behaving people's psyche so right.
Yeah, man.
That's why when they treat it bad, they say that's good for them.
Yeah.
You hear what I say? I just say that's good for them.
That's all you need. You
They
know
need
what
to
I mean?
continuously.
Yeah, Kong Salad do feel like that's all the people them need. You know what I mean?
How in the world, right? You can let $125,000 go back to the treasury. And you represent the most poorest constituency. Mason's edition was considered being down the Mason's edition, that area right there, down in the area right there below East Street, there, below the police barracks there.
Right.
Mason's edition area.
Right.
Outside toilet.
Right.
But $125,000, the former Prime Minister Ronald Perry Gladstone Christie had to send back to the treasury.
Wow.
Because he ain't spent it.
Serious thing.
But if they put it directly, if they put it directly on the Mason's edition constituency account.
Come on.
What is called area? You ain't call it Mason edition. What is called a constituency?
Senator.
Senator. If they put that money directly there, the people who live there, the Christie, the former Prime Minister Ronald Perry Gladstone Christie live out west, across from An 1 or Club 1 or whatever, that place down on the Batman, right? If he's living there, he make a great effort.
Yeah.
If the money was going directly to the account in Centerville, where the constituent of Centerville had access to local government, they could spend the money.
Yeah.
They're gonna help move, put cesspit in everybody yard.
Come on.
Go to Pindus or go to all these block companies which make cesspit and buy a dozen from you, a dozen from you, a dozen from you, a dozen from you, and everybody who have an outside toilet, get a backhoe. I'll dig them for free. I got back on excavator, I'll dig them for free. All the companies who have outside toilet, I'll dig their cesspit all for free. And let the cesspit rest there and give these people bathroom. But let me tell you something. Why would they go beyond something that you ain't asking for? You accept it. That your daughter gotta come out the house and like go to stoop over a hole in the ground and the outside toilet. You ain't worrying about that, but you worrying about you gonna get on your knees to touch the hand of a prime minister or member of parliament. You believe that's Jesus, right? And they ain't jacking with you. They don't live where you live. They'll never live where you live. They'll never. Tell you, a politician comes in one time. He's campaigning to 3rd Street Road, to 3rd Street Road, and he said that he liked to represent the persons in his constituency. And I just stand up to listen. Me and plenty young men stand up, he's talking before he come. So when they come, I answer them. Some of them start feel froggy, they start asking them questions. I stay right there, I say, wait. Taking these calendar with he face on this and thing around. So when he say, oh, you all this sitting on the back of the truck, you ain't saying that, what happened to you? You don't live in this area? I say, yeah, I live in this area, you in front of my yard. Right? So he said, you ain't involved in the conversation with us. I said, because whatever I ask you, you might take offense.
Right.
So he said, what can that be? I say, do you live in the Grove? He said, no. I said, where you live? He said, San Susie. I said, so why you don't run in San Susie? Your neighbor should be able to be the best person to mark your papers. Right. If you was a good neighbor, they'll vote for you.
Yeah. Right.
So why you won't come and people know you vote for you?
Right.
Right? He said, because the system allowed and they ain't doing nothing illegal. I said, you 100% correct.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, seriously.
I said, you right.
Yeah.
You ain't doing nothing wrong.
Right.
Because the system allow you to do it.
Seriously.
But you don't think the best person to mark your papers, your neighbor?
Right.
If you're a good neighbor to them, and they should be the best first person to partner box vote for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I used to say, you said it right. At one time, I tell people I had this thing where I could say, call it like inner city reconstruction campaign, as simple as this, we could go through all them same corners through Baintown and Mason, what's not right. That's like, are you saying, get the sales, but you go, just say if these people could afford $2 a week, you say, okay, like whatever you could afford, just pay this $2 a week, whatever it is, right? This can do for years. Because it's really your taxes money, that's their government money. We could go through every individual house. This way you can keep these little young boys off the streets now. If you live Baintown, the only person who could be building off these houses is the young boys from Baintown. Get whatever construction company. Even if you're a plumber, if you want a licensed plumber, okay, you can't get a contract, right? But we go through every individual corner. We can reconstruct all them houses, bring them up to basic standard of living. What can happen is these young boys, they really want to work, they really want to do something, they ain't have no problem working, and they'll feel so proud to be able to know that they breaking down all these wooden houses and what's not, putting nice toilets, putting different things where all of them could just be basic standards to be showering and what's not. Because it ain't like these young boys in work, Because right now, and I didn't call the company name, my son working for this company for a year and a half, But this man, national insurance ain't getting paid. But see, these man, them who indulge in themselves in these things, or they part of the lodge. See all this stuff is be going on in this country and these different type vibe, So now they can't get touched. But see now, if you go rap man, they say, oh, these young boys, some ain't work. These ain't the young boys, some ain't work, First and foremost, you all ain't gonna pay these young boys, them. You all gonna thief up all the money. You ain't gonna give the young boys them nothing to work. Gonna treat them somewhere. These young boys willing, because they fearless. You see how they be carrying on to these scooters, and you ain't like these young boys ain't willing to do these things, but they ain't nothing put in place for them. Ain't nothing put in place what you all giving them. So we used to just go right now. All these people right now listening, you from the ghetto, just stand up for your rights. That's the first thing you gotta change your mindset. You see, they say first you got to change your mindset, know that you deserve more. They don't have these people thinking that's all they deserve, that's all it is, So here it is now. Once you then change your mindset, we can now go to every ghetto. We can clean up every ghetto because no way in the Bahamas, our money on dollar with America, no way in the Bahamas, you still have to have people bathing in tin tubs outside toilet, pumping water right here, right over there, 5 minutes away from downtown. The other day, the tourists who saying, like, when they carry her back to the airport, she say she been coming here for 20 years. She never see this side of the town yet, For course, she been on a front trip for over 20-something years and you never see it over there. They didn't even know, some people didn't even know this was going on right there in the country. You see what they saying? And so all they saying, but him and people, if you stand up right now, but like all you say, they just want a politician know them, and the politician come through the corner, they want to say, oh, well, Perry, shake my hand. This is what it is and what's not. At the end of the day, we could do them same things. Like you say, you say you're willing to dig right now. So you got a human who's willing to dig these things. So you have someone right now willing to back up. So all it is right now, we can start a reconstruction campaign, go through all these ghettos, only hire the people who live in the constituency of you. For Engliston, only the guys who live in Engliston. For Baintown, only guys who work for Baintown. And once you clean it up, that could change all these little different things right now.
Mr. Smith, listen to me. See, what you're saying is so, listen. It's so right. Listen, let me tell you what happened. I didn't try that.
Yeah.
I had a group called the BBM, Bahamas Brotherhood Movement, right? With a bunch of young men. I could bring them on the show,
right,
and we can have a show talking about the plans we had for Engliston.
Right.
We put in to get our legitimate, legal document, a non-profit organization,
right,
and we was hindered for 7 years. When at stake our purpose and intention, clean the parks, paint the walls, paint all the graffiti off the walls, keep them clean, provide garbage dumpsters for the parks, fix the swings, fix the rims, the courts, and everything.
Right.
Help old people with the hose with leaking.
Right.
Help with back to school, jamboree with books and things like that. We lay out a plan. We laid out a plan what we planning to do. We was hindered for 7 years to get the Bahamas Brotherhood Movement off the ground in Engliston.
Yeah.
It was hindered, prevented from getting it done.
See.
I don't remember nobody say.
Yeah.
You understand? I got it now, but all the guys have moved. They done lost. These politicians too disgusting, man. They done lost their mindset, man.
Right.
So I had to pay the lawyer, Primetime code to get it prepared and everything. We get it ascended by the Governor General and everything. But that's after the guys have lost their drive, because they realize that they ain't serious in this country, boy.
No, not at all.
They ain't serious. They joking.
Yeah.
You know what I say?
Yeah.
Listen. The government was paying $33,000 a month for these garbage trucks. Listen what I say now. $33,000 for each garbage truck a month. You know what I said? I said, listen, part of the plan was to suggest to the government, all them garbage trucks them brand new garbage trucks was bought by the PLB1 between 2000 and 2007. And they had them on Cowpen Road. And one of those guys' property, they had them stored there. All them brand new garbage trucks. When Ron Pinder was Minister of Parliamentary Secretary or something like that, environmental, they bought a bunch of brand new garbage trucks. I said, all the government got to do, allow the constituencies in Nassau to get local government installed, do the election process, give each constituency a building, or let them rent a building, where they can house and hold meetings for the constituency, right? Each one of them a garbage truck, pay them the $33,000 a month. Right. The guys who live in that area, you must live in that area to work on the particular garbage truck. Right. So like how the guys them could pay the people who work on them, right. The constituency could pay them. Yeah. You only get clean garbage in my constituency. Right. That garbage truck is only for that constituency, or unless you render an assistant to another constituency because their truck is down. Right? But you must be living in Angleston to work on Angleston garbage truck. The government will send that same $33,000 they send to the private company, they will send that to the constituency office account. You will have a treasurer, local government minister, members, or whatever, council rep and all that. So that you'll do a proper setup, a legal setup. Like what they have on the family island. They don't want that in this country. If you institute organized legal systems like that in the constituency, the people in the constituency wouldn't be dependent on them. No. You ain't gonna go to them to beg them for $10. Beg them for grocery. Then you don't have to beg them. See, when you liberate people, they start to institute decency, pride, and respect for one another. They can help with the crime watch. You get there, buy their own little car to patrol. They don't want that. No. They don't need you to be comfortable. You be comfortable, they can't control you. They need you to be dependent on them. If you depend on them, then they control you. How can you control a free-minded, independent person? You think right now any country could control Elon Musk? Elon Musk is worth over $200 billion. What a guy would own Google, Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg. What the next one? Jeff Bezos would own Amazon. You can't control them. They gotta say within the laws where they don't offend the law. But you can't control them. You can't make them support you. You can't make them go along with you believe. But people who don't have nothing, you keep them without nothing. You sit with one slip on, you try your best to get the next one off so they be barefoot. That's the only way you control them. Don't empower them. Keep the educational system failing, or social motor system where you push their children through and they leave without even. Some of them they say, listen, some say they just gotta walk. They don't know. They say they don't graduate. Say majority children walking. I don't know what walking is. Walking is when you ain't got no BJC, no GC, but you do 12 years of schooling. I know you will have a BJC.
There's plenty in the Western society, you see in Japan, they saw this thing where they say when they come to the kindergarten students, right, they training them in real life skills. Like they have them cooking breakfast, they actually have them cleaning. They don't have janitors in the school, so they train the children to like clean up from kindergarten and grade 1 and different things like that. So there's plenty in this West. That's why you see Japan have the most centurions, like people who living up to 100 and what's not, Only in this Western world we living like this, And so here it is, we can do, and it start from the kids. We can just, and it's so easy. You know how much kids right now sitting in the primary schools willing to want to be nurses. They won't be masons. They won't do these things. But hey, ain't nothing there.
I'll tell you this. We'll take our final commercial break. This is Primetime with Independent Thinker. My name is Marlon Owen Johnson, aka Independent Thinker. Listen, if they fix the system, you will evaporate the dependency. And listen, The Bible tell you, evil prevail when good men stand by idly. And that's done. We take out a final commercial break. We'll come back. Prime time and independent thing will wrap up. And we'll call those 21 names of members of parliament who don't care if your child get raped, who don't care if the crime continues in this country. They support the human rights group, the Human Rights Commission. They support their personal affiliation, assentment to these foreign notary groups. They don't care about you and the Bahamas. You're fool enough to go to the polls and vote for them after the.
You've dreamt it. You've worked hard for it. And now you've got it. You deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor and know that you're covered in case of a disaster, like an unexpected fire or a vehicular collision. At Magical Insurances, we focus on settling your claims quickly and fairly so you can get back to enjoying your life. Magical Insurances, fast, fair, and always there.
Cancer. It's a word no one wants to hear. But at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, we hear it every day. It's a word we've dedicated our lives to overcoming by changing the way patients are treated. And now we're part of City of Hope, which is one of the nation's top 10 cancer hospitals. Together, we'll combine leading-edge clinical research with precision cancer treatment, so we can be there when you need us most. So when you hear the word cancer, there's another word that should come to mind. Hope. Call now.
An AKA independent thing. Listen, this is the last lap of the show for tonight. Listen, for years I've been on the radio. I've been saying these things I'm saying tonight are the same things I say over and over and over, but just that it appears that the Bahamian gotta be suckers for bad treatment. They gotta be an evil spirit. You gotta be some. Well, listen, next year gotta be a different year. Next year we can't just sit by idly and just allow these politicians just to come to us and just take advantage of us and just believe that hey, they can just go to the assembly and we can vote for them, give them power, and then and they just live good with their family, their friends, their sweethearts, their concubines. Listen to me. It's a new day. It's a new day, government. It's a new day coming in this country. Because we got to be fed up and tired. People in this country, their problems got problems. So things rugged and rough in this town. The opportunities that this government has provided for plenty of Bahamians in this country, the opportunities are enormous, unlimited. All you need is a mind, and you need to get up and make an effort to help yourself. But at the same time, it's unfair. It's unfair that what's happening to many people in this country, we're supposed to be inheritors of this great land called the Bahamas. And foreigners are living better and taking advantage and having great opportunities. And one article once said that it's got to be virtually impossible for a foreigner to have so much advantages over Bahamians in this country, where they can come and get crown land, they get incentives, they get they waive the VAT for them, they give them crown land, they give them concessions, and Bahamians must compete against these same foreigners. I have personal experiences that over the years, I don't understand, maybe that's why I speak so authoritatively. A company in this country brings in equipment like tractors, heavy equipment. Their equipment brand new, right? You as a black man in this country who start from the bottom, who start from the little savings you make or save or inherit or whatever, and you buy an equipment. You can't buy a brand new one because you can't ever afford a brand new one, right? But the foreigner can get his own, come in duty free. He allowed to compete against the black man from over the hill who had to buy or use equipment. He allowed to compete with you. He allowed to rent equipment what he ain't pay no duty on, on these different job sites, and you still is the same one who, the foreigner in the poll vote for these politicians now. You! But why do you think the politicians allowing that to happen? Because you allowing it to happen. We as a people gotta wake up. We have to get up and stop complaining and do something. The education system is failing, and it appears that the Minister of Education don't have a clue what to do. We got to do something. We got to demand that some things change. We got to demand that a policy become law or legislation or pass on something where you cannot leave school without either a certificate or a vocational subject. You got to have a trade or you got to have a certificate.
Right.
Or you'll be in school till you're 30. You laughing, man.
Real talk.
Tired of these people.
Real talk.
They got to be clueless.
Yeah, seriously.
Because they ain't changing nothing.
No, real one.
They're not changing anything.
Yeah. Just coming who can't read.
They running you through a promotional social justice system.
Seriously.
They pushes you through that.
Yeah.
From grade 1 to grade 12, and then go on the road and go to defend yourself.
Yeah.
And then they expect you to don't thief and rob.
Real
Because you want to live, you's human.
Yes.
You want nice things just like them.
Real.
You want nice things just like their children.
Yeah.
And they sweetheart children.
Serious thing.
Right.
Real wide.
Tired of them.
Just like I say, I tell people, right, and you know I love all my black people we supposed to do in Africa and what's not, right, but watch just like, it's like the Greeks, the Indians, the whites, the Chinese, the Asians, and then the Bahamians and the Jamaicans. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's really where the totem pole right is right now, you know what I mean? And it ain't nothing against it. It might sound like you say when you're doing it, like I tell people, anyone who illegal, because I tell people, man, Bahamians, man, even in your own house, you'll get mad at your son if your son ain't helping you pay a bill and what's not. But there it is, we let these people just take over. When you see downtown, I don't care what they say, man, them jewelry store, man, you know, plenty money laundering. How much things we selling, but all the Greeks, them running this town, and the Greeks, there's just all Greek money, and all it is, we over there, like the simplest of the day is working downtown. This lady come up to me and her little daughter, and her daughter saying, Mommy, Dad, and she saying, oh, I can get you trying to get something to eat. And she asked me for $1 and $2, and I said, Mother, what's straight? Yeah, this pay. If this girl only realized, man, she could even go clean up someone's house right now. Just any little things like that, like, how they get the people, like, and this begging thing comes so norm right now, you can't even give people too much eye contact on the road. I mean, you ask someone how they doing, how are you doing? Man, you don't get $1, $2 over there, they say you gotta pay for hell now. You
gotta pay for hell. That's a good one.
That's
a good one. I got it.
And that's how they get the baby people now, like that. You know.
No, but you know, one time ago, you couldn't say that to a woman. So you asked how she doing, it cost you $5 on the phone card. They already got your number to call you.
Seriously.
They will.
Yeah, man, they still don't give no more on the show. And that's how they get the baby people right now.
One text
man.
I really want to do these texts. One text read is, my brother real talk tonight. See, next text read is, they need local government for real. Next text, you on fire tonight, man.
Yeah, man.
Next text, old, why you, old, O-L-D, why you talk but the education minister don't know what she is doing. I hope she ain't listening. Oh, what I say wrong?
I don't know.
The social promotional system, she invented this. She meet this here and it appears that she'll go 5 years without changing it.
Really.
So I ain't saying nothing, Barbara.
See, they used to watch them little school bags. See, that's what they help in the education. Once they give the children school bag and crayon. She doing something for the people, she give them school bag and crayon.
That's it. The representation in this country is garbage.
Yeah.
They believe lifting up your child,
right?
But when you give your child up in the air when they come to the house, the campaign,
right?
Coming to a funeral, right?
Yeah.
Showing their face to a funeral. Yeah. That's not representation.
No, not at all.
Representation is a multifaceted of different things.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
They hold an oath to protect the people. Let people being protected.
Not at all. Not at all. The police can even be more accountable. They don't have the right.
No, but I'm saying it. Listen, the police only listen. Really? See, when you go down that road with the police, why you can't even get the police involved with it? Without police in this country, dog will be better than you. I might tell you that.
No, I say we need the police.
I'm just saying something. I'm saying something. Number two, the police lock some of these criminals up,
Right.
The next day they hail them in the food store.
Real.
So they ain't the police.
Real.
99% of the time it's not the police, it's the problem, it's the system. The system ain't working. You got cases being postponed today in the court system for 2027, for 2028.
Serious.
What I'm telling you? Who can remember exactly what happened?
No, real dog.
We ain't serious.
Yeah.
You know what they should do? Do like what me and Manu do. The Honorable me and Manu. The Honorable Wayne Roosevelt Monroe, the Minister of National Security, sit as a judge, Supreme Court judge, for a short period of time, I think for 3 months.
Right.
And he gone on history of completing some 56 or 65 cases or something like that. I ain't got a correct number, but it's around that amount, ballpark figure.
Right.
And that's span of time. When the normal time and amount of cases is dispensed off in a year, it's between 7 to 12.
Right.
The Honorable Wayne Roosevelt Monroe, the Minister of National Security,
Right.
dispense of some 56 or so, I ain't sure the exact number,
Right.
of cases, criminal cases, in 3 months.
That's all right.
You don't think a system, like what system he's using
Serious.
would help with the backlog,
Right.
with cases going from now, cases are being adjourned today
Really.
to 2027,
Yeah. Really.
2028,
Yeah. Seriously.
next 3 years.
Yeah, them babies don't get lost. That's and all.
Not only that, and the Bible tell you,
Right.
justice delay,
Really.
justice denied.
That's the fact.
So if they believe in these biblical principles, if they believe in these biblical parables, you don't think they will try to fix the problem?
No.
Or they don't care?
They don't care, man. They really don't. You know,
They don't
they
care.
really don't. Telling you, that's really what it is. They
Listen,
really
see, the opposition won't be the government, you know.
don't. Serious thing.
The free nation movement won't be the government. They just come or the power.
Right.
We'll give the baby people 4 years of worthless, bad, good for nothing, dumb services. But they won't be the government again.
Seriously.
And they're really trying to work hard
No.
to show the baby people that they're ready, they're prepared.
Yeah.
They're offering new, different alternatives and solutions to the problems people. They ain't doing that. They just hoping that the people that's fed up with PLP won't them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we end up there for them. That'll never happen.
Yeah. Game
It
plan.
happen.
Must be a game show.
Tired of them.
That's all it is.
That's all.
Come on, give thanks. That's all it is.
Mr. Kane Smith, the
What's
city.
up?
Some things need to change in this country.
Most definitely.
I can be on, God willing, tell about the last week in November.
Right.
And try to get you back one more time.
Come on.
Or maybe when I doing the run-up show and down to the end of the year show. I mean, do that the last week in November.
I down for physical revolution, do I have a YouTube channel and I down for these things, you know.
Ready?
I don't want you to sleep, you know. Are you ready anytime? My son can be 23. It ain't about me and my story, you know. You know what I mean? That's true job. Like I gotta be like I could be a grandfather in the next couple of years. You see they saying I gotta be thinking about my grandchildren right now. I don't remember me no more, I ain't care nothing. That's why I say, what are you ready? Whatever you down, I down for. I telling you.
So I tell you, I had a movement going when the pandemic come. It's when we supposed to have the year that January, the pandemic come
Right.
and crash everything, right?
Come on.
And we never get back on keel, because 2 years of your life gone, right?
Real.
And I don't the age, you know,
Real.
but you ain't had a chance to make progress financially
Yeah,
for
yeah,
2 years,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the struggle become real after that,
Yeah.
and everybody is struggling to try to catch up,
Right.
and then catch up, stabilize, and move forward.
Yeah, real
And that's
talk.
that's
Yeah, the
what
next year's really hard.
struggle
Yeah,
being real.
no, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some things gonna happen,
Yeah, man.
right? And all men who are real men, not who trying to be man because they wearing pants and shirt, but who's man because if they naked, they's man.
Serious.
They's man. They think like a man.
Real.
They act like a man. They do
Serious.
manly things.
Real.
Not allowing these children to suffer because their mind ain't going with them.
Real.
You understand? They want the children to suffer, the next man can take care of them. They lousy and worthless.
Come on. I done been a principal of school, I done tell them, I say, man, come let me speak to your senior boys from 10 to 12. I say, let me give them the real, not a politician talk with them, oh, just stay in school and education. I say, let me come talk to them. I say, brother, I say, give me a chance to come talk to these children. I done, that's what I want to do.
You know-
I ain't looking for nothing.
You know what, let me tell you something. See, it'll be hard for you to penetrate a system that the people who controls it they fear change themselves.
Yeah, man.
They don't want to change it. See, for you to change the educational system, the Honorable Glennis Hannah Martin, right? She'll have to want change for it. She'll have to say, this ain't wicked. She'll have to admit, see, when you have an alcohol problem, and you go to Alcohol Anonymous, the first thing you must do is admit
Real.
that you have an alcohol. If you don't admit, they wouldn't even help you.
Yeah.
You must admit you have alcohol
that's
problem.
real, that's
So you must admit that this education system is not working.
Real.
And I will, until I am fired, or until I am removed, until I'm not able to, I will do every day and I have breath as the minister, I will make sure that that day something has changed.
Yeah.
You must come to school as a certificate.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't smart, so you might have to come over with a trade. You must listen. Some things can happen, and some simple things can happen. But if you begin the start of change, it requires, it demands hard work. It demands devotion. It demands some things that these politicians are not prepared. Because they believe representation is different, baby. Coming to one funeral, getting you one bag when you have one bag, gonna come with your bag. When you go there, one egg, not one egg, not even an egg. One onion, one tuna, one corned beef, 1 pound of grits, 1 pound of rice. Listen, 1 pound of sugar. These people have got you as a big joke. They got you as a big joke, and the baby people need to demand more. Demand more. Because why in Nassau today, in 2024, that there's no local government in Nassau? Why? Why is $25,000 every 3 months going to member of parliament account? Why? Why are we allowing this to happen? And we just sitting by. You have to continue to see a dirty, garbage all about, abandoned houses, weed growing up. I mean, all people just to get blue candles on their roof. And you only pay for social service. You don't have to wait for every renewal. $25,000 on your MP salary. Going to your MP account. Get it from them. What do you think this is?
Serious.
Gotta be joking. Papa, you the fancy.
Yeah, man. So, this payment, that's what he's saying. From this, favorite works is there. We really need a physical revolution and really stand up for your rights. Realize he's a king and a queen. You deserve more than just that's what they're giving you. You know what I mean? And you have the choice. You really have a choice. When they come to vote, you don't really have to vote for them. You know, you can stand up even if you want to vote for someone independent. Even if Mr. Marlon Johnson right now say you run, what wrong with him running? You all rather vote for these same people when you all talking about their lifestyle. You all see what kind of lifestyle these people doing. You don't see your children. You get into all these. You want tired of going up to the prison sending up food. You want tired of going to all these funerals. You love going to the pump. Come on, it's time to make a change, and the time is now. And I ready. And you all get one. All you need is one. And I down for you. So let's do this, people. Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Yes, sir. I want to thank you for coming, man. I
Man,
really
it's
appreciate.
an honor.
I really
Man.
appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, you see.
I think you keep it real, and
Yes,
you
sir.
ain't no politician, so you ain't I gotta worry about
Bro.
you speaking from the heart, bro.
Damn no.
Yes, sir.
That's
That's it.
respect. That's
Tonight, our banner sponsor, the City of Hope, the former Scottish Society of America. Judy's Bread Shop, the bread from the pond to your hand. That's on East Street. You follow the Roma and see the line. Guarantee you, after you buy some in some back, you'll see the bigger shop. The Right Fit, that's the new clothing store that's on the rise. That's coming on scene. Listen, the perfect fit. She says the right fit. I think it's the perfect fit. I guarantee in November, the first week in November, they're gonna be opening. That's off Wolf Road and Darling Lane. The pretty two-tone green building in the middle shop. The Right Fit will be opening. They have a grand opening. Listen, all the women who like to look sexy, who like those proper clothing for Jonkunu, like Yami and those outfits, you know, who like to look sexy all the time, not only sometime. I mean, listen, the Right Fit is gonna be your favorite shop. Guaranteed. The grand opening, the first week of November, the Right Fit on Darling Lane on Wood Road. Rasta Grains and Days on Nassau Street, listen. You are what you eat. So you eat them old pork chop, them old salt beef and all. Listen, that's what will happen. And you end up in a doctor guarantee. Those old meat. You don't know when they with them animals killed. Vintage barber shop for the perfect cut. Listen, you want to get a clean shave, you gotta go to court, go to graduation, go to ceremony, go to church service, whatever. Go to Vintage barber shop. At the Infantry Road, opposite the Magistrate Court on Nassau Street, that same road right opposite the Magistrate Court, you see the graveyard on that side. The first two-story green white building. Go when you reach this, I said, Mr. Benton, I heard you are on Primetime with Independent Thing. I come for my perfect cut. And I want a little discount knock off of your price. Tell me Independent Thing to say so. Global Insurance, that's Tin and Crew. Listen, for all your insurance need, industrial, residential, commercial, health, life, whatever you need, marine, whatever you need, and insurance. Give them the headache. Tell them what you want and let them decide it. Primetime, tell me everything around Primetime with Independent Thinker. Listen, tonight I had Mr. Prophet Kane Smith. We're just trying to give some solutions to the problem, trying to dissect some of the statements that are made by some of the opposition leaders. We had a statement made by Darren Henfield, but I didn't get a chance to talk about it. He basically talking the same thing with the Peer Council. I'll go in more detail next week. I'm supposed to have Kendall G. Wright in studio. I met him. Listen, plenty of Beamans don't know him. Never mind talking sports. He's a brilliant human. Trust me. I get him to Sip. You wouldn't miss. You wouldn't even go to the bathroom. You wouldn't even go for water. Kendall G. Wright. Hey, forgotten soul, son. He's a brilliant human. He's supposed to be in the chair next week. I'm going to wind down in December and November, but after Thanksgiving, because people, December usually be a time when persons reflect on the birth of Jesus and Christmas, and they be maybe into that partying and things. So I ain't got into December talking no politics. I can maybe wrap up the show in November, end of November, and God willing, I come back in January and maybe wrap up the whole show. Just depends on how I feel. I know the person tell me, I put to the day, they may tell me, Luster, you all don't participate. You only listening. I understand that because you can tell me everything I say, but you don't be a part of the conversation. You gotta get more. Next year, January, don't get a part of the conversation that's it. You gotta be a part of the conversation. Stop just sitting there and listening. You gotta be a part of the dialogue. This Muhammad ain't only for me. I got no all, Trust me. I got no all. And I can't keep up. I got no all. I'll leave with the end with a quote from the night from the great lady Celinda North. If Bahamians aren't prepared to stand up and fight and defend their own Bahamas, then they don't deserve